Yes, David, what's happening, mate? You good?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm all good, thank you, mate. How's yourself?
Good.
Good. I thought we'd start off, mate, with the 20th of August, BKFC London at the Ovo Arena. What was your thoughts on the night as a whole, mate?
Are you recording now?
Yeah.
You could start. You want to start over? Or are you good?
No, it's live now, mate. It's sound.
I didn't know. Well, first I want to say, you know, I got a really great reception from the people in England. So obviously, at this point, I want to say, rest in peace to Your Majesty, the Queen of England. You know, she died today after a tremendous reign as queen, and so I just want to say rest in peace to her. That being said, we had a unbelievable inaugural show at Wembley OVO Arena. It was phenomenal. I actually just got the numbers today: 6,452 people there. On the same night as Anthony Joshua fighting Alexander Usyk, so probably not a great decision on our part, but we announced the show first, and we pushed it from July 16th, so we couldn't push it again. Because we push it again, then we would look like we were trying to get out of a show and not be able to do it. So I think that we did pretty well with that amount of people there. Number two is the fights were just off the hook. They were unbelievable. They were wars. You know, one or two guys at the beginning of the night just aren't cut out for bare knuckle, and that happens on every one of our shows and every boxing show and every MMA show. One or two guys shouldn't be there, and one or two guys shouldn't have been there. The rest of the guys, they showed up, man. They showed up. They showed out. They fought their asses off, and they did really good. Crowd was unbelievable. I remember the first fight of the night or the second fight of the night, but there was only about 1,000 people in there. And when you're 1,000 people in a 10,000 seat arena, it doesn't look like anybody's in there. And the crowd, like you heard just the way they were cheering. I was like, wow, this is going to be an exciting night. About an hour later, I'm going like, wow, there's not a lot of people in here yet. I'm like, are you sure we sold this amount of tickets? And then like another half hour, the place is packed, out of control, just electric. I mean, these guys gave everything, right? And then, we had some really great fights. Connor Tierney versus Joe Elmore was a good fight. Connor Tierney showed out and showed what he's made of. Mick Terrill scored a sensational knockout over, well, not really sensational knockout, but an overwhelming performance over Sam Shoemaker. Another great fight. And then really, I think my favorite fighter of the night, just by his performance, which was a good fight by tough Tyler Goodjohn, but James Lilly just looked like he was on a whole different level that night. Then you go to the main event with Michael Page, MVP versus Mike Perry, and if I could have drawn it out and said, man, I hope this goes one extra round and then the crowd's going to go on their feet and it's going to give them a war, and it's exactly how we had hoped it was going to end. It ended with a tremendous fight. Both guys gave it their all. I told both guys prior to the fight, as Mike Perry kind of knew, but MVP didn't. It's different. It's a different pain. Like, it's not like you're getting hit and rattled. You're getting hit and it hurts. It's like it's a different kind of pain. And they saw that night, and they fought their heart out for the fans of England. And I think that my promotion, BKFC, all the my staff that traveled, across the pond, all the new staff that we have with Andrew Bakewell and the BFBA team that we acquired, and just the fighters that fought their asses off. Some of these guys, Danny Christie just said something. I mean, what a tremendous performance from him. And it was just a great night, and I couldn't be any happier to make our debut like that. What I was saying is I think that we showed the UK people that there truly is a new player in town when it comes to combat sports, not when it comes to bare knuckle, because I mean, we already know that we eclipsed anything else out there. But when it comes to combat sports in general, they weren't expecting that kind of production. They weren't expecting that kind of crowd. They weren't expecting those fighters to fight like they fought. They weren't expecting anything that they got, and we delivered. We delivered. BKFC delivered, and the fighters, especially, take my hat off to them. They delivered, and I can't wait to come back. It's going to be just electric. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Look, every problem that we dealt with getting into that fight, we dealt with it. We dealt with the train strike. We dealt with Anthony Joshua fight. We dealt with problems getting the ring in. We dealt with production problems because it's limited over there now. We dealt with so many different things over there. Nothing could have went worse leading up to the fight, and nothing could have went better during the fight. So it was a, it was like the icing on the cake. It was just a tremendous, tremendous show. I'm happy. The fans are happy. The fighters are happy. The staff is happy, and we can't wait to come back.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, mate. What a night of fights. Like you said there, Danny Christie, the fight with Teddy Brazier is probably one of the best fights I've seen in bare knuckle, mate, to be honest. Absolute war. Unbelievable fight.
I mean, great. I mean, Terry Brazier gave us all. He did everything he could do to fight, and you got a guy like Danny Christie who has all the balls in the world and showed it that night, and showed that he's, this bare knuckle thing is just different. And when you didn't do it before and you did it before and you're good at it, right? If you did it before and you're not good at it, it doesn't matter. If you did it before and you're good at it, fighting a guy that didn't do it before and he's also good at fighting, but it's just a different animal when you come in there. Same thing we saw with the main event with MVP and Mike Perry. Although some people think that MVP, should have squeaked out that decision. I thought it was kind of a coin flip, could have went either way. So I didn't really have, like I said, could have went either way, and it was just a great for the fans. But these guys, like Danny Christie, like I said, he showed. I think he's going to be fighting on our next card. He did great. A lot of these guys did great, man. It was just I was really, really happy with the way these guys showed out. I mean, Ella Shepard fought John Hick. What a tremendous fight that was. Showed a lot of skill. It's just when you stepped up to this, I was telling Andrew Bakewell, who was, is now BKFC UK, that, these guys had to come to fight. Like, this is not, we're not doing what you're normally, not what they're used to, but what UK fans were used to with bare knuckle, which were some great fights, but we had to step up on this one. We had to have evenly matched fights, give them really great, give the fans wars, and they got it, man. I'm happy.
So, I mean, the fights as well, they couldn't have been matched any better. They were all, apart from like one or two that you said, but they were all 50-50 fights, weren't they?
Yeah, you're gonna get that on, like I said, any combat sport in the world. You're gonna get one or two guys gets hit with a good shot or gets a hold put on him and taps out. You're gonna get that anywhere. But I mean, all in all, and in the whole, I mean, I was phenomenal. It was one of the best bare knuckle fights, and we've done 35 of them now total with everything that we've done, and it was one of the best nights that I've ever been a part of with combat sports. It was coming over the pond. It was like a proving ground for us. We had to show up, show out, make sure that people were there. Just everything had to fall in line, and everything fell in line. And it was a great moment for myself, especially, and for BKFC.
Yeah, it definitely was, mate. Moving on to Connor Tierney. Does he get the title shot now? Or if Louis Palomino doesn't fight for it, will he get like an interim title fight with Elvin Brito?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely in the running right now. Absolutely. Like I said, he showed out. He showed he's on a little bit different of a level. So that could absolutely be something that's in the works. We're talking to Louis Palomino now. I just want to see which belt he wants to defend, and whichever one we're going to put up for grabs. We're going to know that. We'll know that shortly. But there's a kid who can talk, good-looking kid. He can fight. So, he could be a superstar in the making. The same thing, like I said, the James Lilly kid, very, very well spoken, well-mannered kid, and man, he just boxed beautiful. I mean, I've really, in bare knuckle, I've never seen a boxing performance. If you understand what I'm saying, a boxing performance like that, I've never seen that yet. He just did phenomenal. But on the other flip side of it is Tyler Goodjohn's heart. Like, I mean, he could have quit and the end of the first round, second round, third round, fourth round, and nobody would have said a word, and he hung in there the whole time.
I know. I was fully closed in the first round on it, and he went all the way. What a warrior, man.
Yeah, just I mean, a lot of these guys showed up, man. These UK fighters really showed up. I mean, some of the Americans did as well, but the UK guys showed, where this sport came from and why it originated there and why they have to carry on this legacy. And we told them that they had to step up. We are dishing out some bonuses to some of these guys. We told them we were going to. We're doing that, and we just want to grow this thing there. I think plan is in 2023 to do 8 shows. We're going to do a show later on this year. It looks like November 26th, but I can't confirm that because we're waiting to see if they're going to announce the Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight on that date or not. So we don't want to run into that problem again. But that's going to be the first BKFC UK show that will happen. That's going to happen in Newcastle. Great show. I can't announce it yet. We're going to announce it on Saturday night during our fight. But I mean, some great fights on that card. And hopefully we see some of the guys back that already fought, which we're going to. And they're just going to show up and prove out again that, they are some of the, baddest dudes in the world. I've always said it. These bare knuckle fighters are different. The guys that can really fight, right? They're different. Like I said, it's a different pain that they're getting. It's just they're on a different level, and they deserve the spotlight, and we're giving them the spotlight. And I think BKFC UK is going to be our second home.
Yeah, great stuff. I don't know if you've seen. I had Connor on during the week, and he called out Diego Sanchez. And Diego Sanchez got back in touch with him and said once he gets his fight out of the way, it's something that he'd be definitely up for. Is that something that could possibly happen in the future?
I mean, it could. It's probably we would like to match Diego if he fights for us. We'll see what happens in his fight. I mean, he's in deep in his career, and the last thing we want to do is have anybody get injured. But he looks, I saw him at the Albuquerque fight that we just did. He looked in great shape. He was solid as a rock. He just looked rejuvenated, looked different. So, we'll see what happens with that. But there's so many different options. There's a lot of options for Connor Tierney. There's a lot of options for James Lilly. There's a lot of options for all these guys. I mean, we're growing, right? And we're not just growing in the United States. We're growing in the UK. We just came off of a great fight card in Thailand. We're going to be expanding to Latin America, Germany, Italy. There's all in 2023. So there's a lot of expansion going on. There's going to be a lot of fighters on our roster, and there's going to be a lot of room for a lot of different competitive fights. We're just going to give the fans great fights. And as long as we have guys like this with all the heart in the world, like a Danny Christie, like a Terry Brazier, like these guys, they gave it them all. There's no telling where this sport goes.
No. Is there any chance of the BKFC becoming televised in the UK?
We're working on 2 different deals right now. Eventually, absolutely, that's going to happen. We're working on one pretty big global deal actually that could really change the game for us. So we're going to know something sooner. All we do is we don't wait around for those. We just keep putting the gas pedal down and keep putting the pedal to the metal and moving this thing forward, putting on these great events. Production, is second to none. We have great production. We have great fighters, like I said, and just keep doing these events. And eventually, all the doors are going to open. The sponsorships are going to come in bigger. The TV deals are going to come in bigger. It's just going to happen because, it's like I said at the beginning of this. Nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. This is 10 years ago. Nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. 4 years ago, few people started listening. I said eventually they're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to listen when they see this kind of action and these kind of fights. And, eventually all the doors are going to open. I know that. It's just, you have to be patient. But these doors will open because when you have warriors like that we have putting on the great fights that they put on and fighting their heart out and giving it their all, and the fans are on their feet for 10 minutes, the doors have to open.
Yeah. How does it feel to be running one of the fastest growing combat sports in the world? Must be amazing.
I mean, it's great. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. It's funny. I was talking to my wife last night, and I said, I remember how many times you told me to stop talking about bare knuckle fighting. It's never going to happen. My team was like, listen, it's never going to happen. It sounds good, but it's never going to happen. And I was really the only one at that time that just believed, man. And now, obviously, my wife, my family, my team, I got the best team around, man. They all believe and they know where this thing can go. But it's funny because if you really believe in something, and look, it can't be like you believe you're going to walk on the moon because you're not going to walk on the moon. But if you believe something that's half realistic and you put everything you have into it, anything can happen. I mean, look, I'm living proof that if you have a dream, if you work your ass off, if you don't listen to the word no, if you just keep knocking on doors, they're going to open. Here we are, right? We're in the same talks. So we did a thing on the fight night at August 20th. It's called Google Trends, and we out trended our competition that night. 6-1 that was going on at the same time as us. we were only 50% off of trending from the Anthony Joshua fight in the UK. That's huge. I mean, he's like the king. He's not the king of England now because it's going to be Charles, but he's like the king of England, right? And for us to even be in the talks with them on that night, it was just amazing to us. So there's no telling where this thing's going.
Yeah, it is crazy, like how far it's come. It's mental. Will you be making an appearance at any of the BKFC UK shows?
Yeah, I'll be over the one in November. If it happens on November 26th, I will be over. If it happens a week later, I can't because we have another fight. But if it happens on November 26th, we do Thanksgiving over here. So we'll do Thanksgiving on Thursday. We'll fly out on Friday and be there for the fight on Saturday. If that happens, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait because I think now that we planted the seed for this right now, I think that like when this show gets announced, this next show gets announced, and tickets go on sale, I think they're going to absolutely sell out within the first week because it's only, I think, 1,700 seats. So after coming off of that show, it's going to be hard not to with all these great matchups that we have.
Yeah, wicked. Is there anything that you can share with us what's next for Mickey Terrill?
He's going to be fighting on this card. He's got it'll be announced on Saturday night. My marketing team wants to kill me because I always break stories before I'm supposed to, so I can't. But Mick Terrill will be fighting the main event on that card against a very, very tough 3-0 BKFC opponent. So it's going to be, and the winner will fight for the world championship. So there's going to be a world title eliminator.
Wicked, that'll be a great fight. Is there anything else that you want to share with us before we wrap it up, mate?
Man, just happy to talk to you. Happy to have the support of all the media over there. It looks like we really made a splash with them. They were really nice, covered us good, you included. The fighters, like I said, they were great. They fought their ass off. A couple guys didn't, and they'll never be back. And the guys that did, like I said, man, there's no telling where this thing goes. The money is going to get better for us all as we start getting more sponsorships and TV revenue. It's going to come into the fighters too. We don't need to keep 90% of the money, 80% of the money. We're good with 10% of the money. So if we can spread it out the right way, then this sport will just grow faster than any other combat sport ever. It already is, and I think it's going to keep growing. And like I said, we had some future stars from the UK that were on that show, and I think that can be the face of this sport as we grow, and they're all going to go down as icons and legends of this sport. So it's a great time to get involved with this sport because you're going to be the guys that were always have been remembered as the guys as the gatekeepers at the beginning of this ride. But man, I mean, there's not much more to say except, man, I was excited about that. I can't wait to come back. I got a great team. I got a great reception, great fighters, great fans over there. I think it's just going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we'll probably come back to Wembley in February or March with a really, really big show.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. A lot of people are putting in the comments to ask you what you thought on Brett May's fight.
Brett May, that was a good fight. He had some kind of problem or something, got carried out of got taken out of the stadium or the arena sometime in that fight, but he fought good. I mean, him and Rob Cunningham, they both fought good. Rob Cunningham, he showed more grit than I thought that, than I didn't know who he was, right? But then that I was told that he had, and he fought his ass off, and he fought really good. Brett May fought good too. I mean, a guy that didn't really have a lot of experience, he fought great too. Really, almost everybody fought good. A couple guys got hit with, I thought suspect shots and went down. Most guys took some great shots. Chessa Simmons, that was a great fight. He fought really, really good against Franco. Yeah, Franco, he fought great. I mean, like I said, most of these fights were I could bring that whole card back again and say, look, let's do this whole card again. And it would be a great card because these guys fought great. But I'm really happy with the performance of the UK fighters. Like I said, the media was great. The fans were great. Everything was great about that night. Next time we just don't want to go up against Anthony Joshua. And I think if we didn't have the train strike and we didn't go up against Anthony Joshua, I really think we did 8 to 10,000 people that night.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a great debut for us. Like I said, I can't wait to come back. I'm gonna probably have to start liking the fish and chips more. as I get over
Okay,
there.
just the English food. Don't you like the English food?
It was all right. I'll be honest. The food wasn't terrific. The fish and chips were good, but there wasn't a lot of great places that I ate anyway. But I was, I didn't get a chance to really check out a lot of different places, but I checked out a couple of the sites as we did the face off near Big Ben and things like that. So that was great. Just very, very, very happy, man. Very happy about everything, and can't wait to get back. I didn't know before the fight. It was funny, but the whole team was like, "You're never bringing us back here. We're not coming back." Or just because all the problems that we had to deal with leading up, and after, like right after the fight, they said, "When we coming back, boss? When we coming back?" And I'm like, "Oh, man, I can't wait." Like I said, I really can't wait because, see, the fighters and our team, we really get like a like we get high, if you will, off of the excitement and the cheering of the fans, and these fans were just unbelievable.
Yeah, Sweet Caroline and that, they were loving it, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with the whole entire thing, everything that happened with it. I think that, you know, I'm not saying we're going to take over boxing, we're going to take over MMA. We're not going to do that, but we're going to be on that competitive level as the biggest MMA and the biggest boxing organization in the world within the next 2 years. And I think in a year, once we do 6 to 8 more shows in the UK, I think everybody's going to really know what bare knuckle fighting is. Because I did a lot of mainstream news interviews there, and I had a lot of people, contesting me and kind of debating me, and I had to tell them what bare knuckle is. So we're over here in the United States, and almost everybody knows what bare knuckle fighting is now because we've been doing it now for 4 years.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been mainstream over there yet. This is really the first mainstream show. So a lot of guys didn't really know what it was. And when we got a chance to explain it to them, and then these fighters put on the show that they put on, it was phenomenal. And they show what it was about, man. Like I said, happy, just very, very happy, and can't wait to come back in November.
So these BKFC UK shows, are these going to be the same setup as what BKFC London was?
Yeah, it's going to be it'll probably be just a one level down on the production, but not like 10 levels down. One level down because the major shows have to set themselves apart. They'll all be fought in the squared circle in our ring. They'll all have good production. They'll all have everything, all the bells and whistles. But the big shows are just going to have a little more with some of the bigger names as the main event, co-main event.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, I won't keep you too long, mate. I know you're very busy, and I really appreciate you coming on. But hopefully, we can catch up when you can release the news of the fights.
Absolutely, we can catch up in about 2 weeks if you don't mind. Thanks to you for having me on again, and thanks to everybody commenting and everybody that supported this show and supports this thing going forward, man. I really appreciate everybody.
Spot on, mate. Thank you very much, David, and I'll speak soon, mate.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra, mate. Bye. Yes, people. Sorry, I couldn't keep up with the comments. Appreciate everyone who come in and join there. It's massively appreciated. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, it'd be great if you could go and do that now. And nice one. Good night. God bless everyone.